Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Lessons from Life. Today's story is emotional, inspiring, and full of surprises. It is a story about judgment, courage, and the unexpected people who help us become stronger. Sometimes, the person who challenges us the most becomes the reason we change our lives. Let me tell you my story. My name is Ryan Brooks. I am 31 years old, and I own a small photography business. For years, I worked alone, taking pictures for weddings, birthdays, and local events. The business paid the bills, but it never really grew. I lived with my wife, Emma, in a quiet town. Life was simple, comfortable, predictable, and maybe that was the problem. There was one person I could never get along with, Emma's father. His name was Victor. He was a retired businessman with a reputation for being strict and demanding. The first time I met him, he shook my hand firmly and asked only one question. "Can you provide a stable future for my daughter?" I laughed nervously. He didn't. From that day forward, I always felt like I was being tested. Every family dinner felt like an interview. Every conversation felt like an examination. Victor rarely complimented me. Instead, he asked difficult questions. How many clients did you get this month? Do you have a long-term business plan? When will you expand? No matter what answer I gave, it never seemed enough. Over time, I started avoiding him. Whenever Emma suggested visiting her parents, I found excuses. Work, deadlines, anything. I convinced myself that Victor simply didn't like me. Then everything changed. One rainy afternoon, I received terrible news. A major event company that regularly hired me decided to work with another photographer. Just like that, nearly half of my yearly income disappeared. I sat in my office, staring at the email. My hands felt cold. My future suddenly looked uncertain. That evening, Emma noticed something was wrong. When I told her what happened, she tried to comfort me. "We'll figure it out," she said. But I wasn't convinced. A few days later, Victor unexpectedly came to our house. I immediately felt uncomfortable. The last thing I wanted was another lecture. After dinner, he asked me to join him outside on the porch. The rain had stopped, but the air was still cold. For several minutes, neither of us spoke. Then he finally broke the silence. "You're scared." It wasn't a question. It was a statement. I looked away. "I'll manage." Victor nodded slowly. "That's not what I asked." For the first time, I didn't argue. Because he was right. I was scared. Very scared. After a long pause, Victor surprised me. "When I was your age, my business failed." I looked at him in shock. Victor, the successful businessman, failed? He smiled faintly. "I lost almost everything." That night, for the first time, I heard his story. The mistakes, the debts, the sleepless nights, the fear, all the things he had hidden for years. By the end of the conversation, I realized something. Victor wasn't judging me. He recognized himself in me. The next morning, he handed me a business proposal. "What is this?" I asked. "A chance," he replied. The proposal was for a large tourism company looking for someone to create a complete photography campaign. The project was far bigger than anything I had ever done. "I can't handle this." Victor shook his head. "You can. It's too big. That's why you should do it." I stared at the papers. The opportunity felt exciting and terrifying at the same time. Then Victor said something I will never forget. "Ryan, you've spent years proving you can survive. Now prove you can grow." Those words stayed in my mind. After 2 days of thinking, I accepted the challenge. The project was difficult. There were long hours, mistakes, rejections, moments when I wanted to quit. But every time I doubted myself, Victor pushed me forward. Not with kindness, not with compliments, but with honesty. And somehow, that helped. Months later, the campaign launched successfully. The company loved the work. New clients started calling. My business doubled, then tripled. For the first time, I felt truly confident. One evening, after the project ended, Victor and I sat together watching the sunset. Neither of us said much. Finally, I turned to him. "Why did you help me?" Victor smiled. "Because someone once helped me when I was exactly where you were." I nodded quietly. Then I asked another question. "Why were you always so hard on me?" He laughed softly. "Because I knew you were capable of more than you believed." For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then he added, "And because I wanted to. Make sure my daughter married a man who never quits." I smiled. For the first time, I truly understood him. All those years, I thought he was my biggest critic. In reality, he was preparing me for challenges I didn't know were coming. That day taught me something important. Not everyone who challenges you is against you. Sometimes the people who push you the hardest are the people who believe in you the most. And sometimes the person you misunderstand is the person who changes your life forever. Thank you for listening. If this story touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever misjudged someone who later became important in your life? See you in the next lesson.